Hi Stampers, I'm Meg from LovenStamps, and this is Maker Mornings with Meg episode, 106. So we have a bright and sunny day here, so I am going to do a bright and sunny card to match it. And in case you hadn't figured this out, if it wasn't a bright and sunny day here, I would probably do a bright and sunny card anyway, because clearly we would need one to, boost our spirits or whatever. So we're all about bright and sunny here. Anyway, the project I'm going to use or do today, share with you, features the Friendly Flamingo stamp set, which just came in an order that arrived here yesterday. And so I was really excited to take this guy out and use it. We're also going to use the other thing that I got in that package, which is the basic pattern decorative masks. And I couldn't believe that I didn't have these already because I really do like masks. But I think I had some older retired ones that I had been using when I needed a mask, but you're really gonna like these. And the reason that you want these is there's a two-step reason to love these. Morning guys, Trish and Rita and Teresa and Elaine and Cheryl and Melinda and Tanya and, did I get Elaine? Kathy? Oh gosh, everybody's here. Okay, so two things that you're gonna want. Because coming up in Paper Pumpkin this month, so the March kit that bills on the 10th, or you have to have signed up by the 10th, it's going to feature a free set of stencils. See, like these here. This is the note that came in last month's Paper Pumpkin. And clouds, sun, stars, mountains, lots and lots of good things for this. I promise you are going to be sad if you don't get these because I'm going to show a lot of projects with them, I think, because they're really cool. And Paper Pumpkin is fabulous. So two things you're going to want to do. One, you're going to want to sign up for Paper Pumpkin. Make sure your subscription is current by the 10th. And I didn't put it in the video description when this is live, but I'll add it in later to sign up for Paper Pumpkin if you haven't already. So that's one, get your Paper Pumpkin subscription set. And two, have an idea for what to do with your masks when they come. So that's what we are going to do today, all right? So let's flip you guys down here. And there we go. Okay, so this stamp set is actually super cute. I have been a big fan of it. I didn't actually order it until just recently though. So sometimes, you have your wish list in the catalog and you got to kind of work through things. I finally got around to this guy. And of the masks, I love this feather one here because it is a perfect theme match for our project. There are actually 3 other masks in this set, a polka dot, a tree that is actually, I can't believe I didn't have before, and this sort of damask looking, there we go, damask looking one. So, and I actually, if I demo this one, I have a coordinating shirt to wear that day. So watch for that, maybe on May the 4th. If you're a Star Wars fan, that's a clue. Anyway. Okay, so coming back to our project here, I'm gonna start off with my paper selection. And for this, I decided that the Playing with Patterns papers would be perfect. I kind of flipped through the back of the catalog, and I do this a lot actually. If I'm not sure what I wanna do, I will, or what paper I want to go with my stuff, I'll flip to the back of the catalog and kind of look and be like, no, not flamingos. No, not flamingos. Not flamingos. Maybe this one. No, not flamingos. Ooh, that would be really pretty with flamingos, especially on a more subdued card. Dogs, no, not flamingo compatible. Oh, this one. All of these Calypso Coral patterns look like a good fit. So I pull that paper out. And on one side of these papers, it's all bumblebee and turquoise and purple posy, navy. And then on the other side are the Calypso Coral and Coastal Cabana. We're all about the seaside here. So these are the papers that I chose. But remember, I really wanted to use my mask for our background. So I didn't want this to be super strong. And so I decided that I would just go ahead and punch a circle. So I grabbed my handy 2-inch circle punch, which I use all the time. I don't necessarily recommend stamping through all or cutting through all of them at the same time. That's risky business, but it worked. So, oh, and I'm just looking at comments. Sue, may the 4th be with you also. All right. So, and Tanya says she just wished that she had ordered masks. You know what? You still can. They're still there. And so, oh, and we have some Ontario viewers today. Welcome to our friends to the north. Anyway, the circles I'm going to have here, we have our mask. And for the background of this, I always try to decide with these papers whether the petal pink or the blushing bride work better, and usually one works and the other doesn't. So for this particular paper, clearly blushing bride is the color. Petal pink is not quite right. These two pinks look so similar when you don't have them next to each other, but when you have them together, they're clearly really different tones with a different feel to them. So this is petal pink, this is blushing bride, and both of them are great. They just have different roles, different purposes, and different coordinating color sets. So nice to have access to them. All right, so I'm gonna start here with our card back ground, and I'm gonna grab my Calypso Coral ink pad, and we are going to start masking. So these are a good size. You want to have your mask all the way on your paper. Even if you're only going to use a little corner of it, just mask the whole thing so that any over sponge area will be done in the pattern and not have like a line next to it from having the edge. I'm also going to just keep one hand right here on this the whole time. You can yell at me in the comments if I forget, but I'm always going to have this hand on the mask to keep it from moving, which means that my other hand is going to do the sponging. Now, in your paper pumpkin kit, you're going to get a Stampin' sponge along with your masks, so you can definitely use that. And I always in the past had used these. I like to cut that into wedges and use little bits for different colors. But now we have blending brushes. Star, a little asterisk on that. These are, in the US at least, not available at the moment. They hopefully will be back in stock at the end of March, so beginning of April. So if you don't have these yet, put them on your wish list and just know that when they come back, I will remind you. So I'm going to wipe and then sponge here on our card. So wipe, circle, circle. Ooh, this is really dark. Wipe, circle, circle. I rigged my pad, wipe, circle, circle, and have ended up with a really intense color, but that's okay. I think it's gonna come out really well. Okay, wipe, circle, circle. And you notice every time I go back, I'm kind of going to that same dark central spot again, because what I want to do is have a dark spot in the center and then a nice ombre kind of look around the edges. So the darkest ink is going to be applied when you first put your brush onto your page. So think about having that available. Now, usually with blending brushes, it doesn't pay to keep blending around, but there's some ink that is on top of our mask here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just keep mushing that around so I get a nice light edge. And then the reveal is one of my favorite parts of this. Da, da, da. There we go. So now we have this really, really gorgeous, lots of texture, lots of pattern piece. Now this, if I wasn't gonna use it again, I'd probably just run it into the bathroom or the kitchen sink and just run some water over it and set it up to dry. That's really the easiest way to clean it. So I'll set that aside. And Sue said, how about, Stamparatus and magnets. Yeah, you could definitely do that. Using your Stamparatus plate, put your magnets on the edge. That's a great idea, actually. Yeah, maybe next time I mask, we'll be doing that. And let's see, Teresa says hi. And Melinda says hi. This is very Florida for you, Melinda. Okay, so I'm gonna bring back in my papers here, and we are going to kind of arrange them, I don't know, something like this. And the nice thing about this particular layout is really, you could put pretty much anything here in this. You could put flowers, you could put a greeting, you could put, anything with a happy kind of image. But we are going to bring in our flamingo. So I'm gonna grab him and a piece of Whisper White here. Now, I'm gonna stamp this, and I'm going to tell you what my first thought was when I first put ink on this guy, and then see what you guys think. So here is our flamingo. All right, so that is one inked flamingo with no stamping off. check out the color variation in this stamp. This is so nicely designed. So in the background, I basically have stamped off areas because of the texture that's in the stamp itself. And then the foreground, his outline is nice and intense, so beautiful color. Plus I just re-inked my pad, so. All right, and then let's see, can I get him on here? Yes, I'm gonna stamp him one more time so you can see the stamped off version. So depending on what effect you're looking for, oh, and I should teach you this too while I'm doing it. If you didn't see that, I'm actually pressing the cardstock against the back of the stamp with photopolymer. Sometimes, usually, your basic white cardstock will stick to the stamp, which is perfect because it allows you to pick it up and make sure that you really get a good impression there. So here is our stamped off version. I think both of them are beautiful. They just kind of have a different effect. And since I want our flamingo to be our main foreground, I'm gonna go ahead with this one. There is, of course, a coordinating set of dies, what are they called? Flamingo dies, shocker there, that go with this. So this is the outline that cuts out our stamped image. And then there's also this flamingo here with the little wing segments, and he is meant to be cut just from cardstock, so he doesn't line up with a stamp, but it gives you that paper piecing kind of look, which is really popular, so lots of possibilities. All right, so I'm gonna take my die here and go ahead and cut this out, and through the magic of television, ta-da, look at how fast that was. Okay, so we have our penguin, oh my. We're getting confused about our avian friends here. We have our flamingo here set, and I like this, but he's floating a little bit, and we've talked a little bit about how like characters on cards, they don't really like to float. They like to have like an attachment point to cards so that they look a little bit more I don't know, grounded. So we're gonna give our flamingo this fun little water here to ground him, and maybe some plants here. So we'll see what we think. So right here on this card, or this piece here, that's risky, stamp it on there. I'm gonna go ahead and stamp on our base layer. Okay, let's bring this back in here, see kind of where he fits. Let's see, if I put this on top, then we can put some plants on that we're gonna show. Yep. All right, so now I'm gonna bring this back in here, and the plants are gonna go right here in front. And there we go. All right, so now we can bring this all back in here and start to kind of assemble our pieces. Now, I don't really want these 3 circles to be all like lined up evenly. I wanna move them around so that our card has a little bit more action on it. I know you're like, moving a circle does not add action, but it does. It unbalances it just enough that your eye moves a little bit around here. So I kind of like the way this circle highlights his body. Now, trick is always getting these pieces on here without totally disturbing your layout, right? So I like to keep the layout on there and then bring one thing back at a time to put it back in. So there's that one. Here is this circle. I'm just gonna put glue out here because otherwise I'm gonna keep us from being able to glue our darkest circle here. And then this one's gonna slide just underneath. So, okay. And we said that we're gonna move that up a little bit, and we've got our flamingo's feet in the puddle there with our little water lines. Okay, all right, so now we have a little bit more anchor there, but we also need to add in here a greeting, right? So this stamp set has several ones. It has happy birthday, it has just be you, you're outstanding, stand tall, stand out, and then hoping your day is as amazing as you are. So I like that one, that hoping your day is amazing, because it kind of goes with any of these. I'm gonna go with you're outstanding, because hardy har har, it's a pun and I can't resist a pun. And let's see, I need a little slip of basic white paper, so I'm gonna grab there from the bottom. I always save my tiny little slips of Whisper or basic white here because they just are often perfect for this size greeting. And these are the ones that I get from cutting the centers of our card. Oh, which we still have to do. So this guy, I think we're gonna pop him behind our flamingo and right under here. And what that's gonna do is it's going to kind of draw attention back up here and it's going to set his head off from the background, which was getting just a little bit lost there because it's kind of a color on color. So we're gonna give it a little bit more oomph there by adding that. Okay, so let's see. I think this one's gonna go down flat again. I know I'm not using very many dimensionals on this card. Sometimes I go through them like water, so I might be surprising you. And then I'm gonna pop this here on our card. Okay, that's gonna grab. And then let's go ahead and bring some dimensionals in. I have both minis and regular size because I can get a regular size one there on his body, but then I'm gonna need to add a small one there for his head, and one also fits down here on his feet. So we have all parts of our die cut supported. So, morning, Brenda. All right, so this guy is gonna pop back here on our card, and there we go. Now well, first of all, we need a card, right? This is just a layer. And when I first designed this card this morning, I actually just had this piece folded, and I felt like it just needed something else to just anchor it a little more. So I cut it down and added this background layer. So see how we have sort of that, there we go, sort of that extra ring around the edge, that little shadow that adds some extra dimension. So see, I came through and used a few more dimensionals. I'm gonna pop these off and flip this back over and mount this here on our card. And then we need to add an embellishment, and we need to add something on the inside of our card. So here's our front. I was looking at my table, and I remembered yesterday when I showed the butterfly card, I used, or the last two actually, I used these sequins from the Artistry Blooms, and these are part of LovenStamps monthly tutorials this month. I absolutely adore the Artistry Bloom sequins, and so I had to use them again. And there is, oh my gosh, the perfect color for these. There's this orange one in here, and that's actually 2 packages combined. You get 5 sheets, I think, of sequins in your package. So if you're wondering why there's some duplicates. So I'm gonna bring in these perfectly fabulous orange sequins, and I'm gonna pop one kind of down here. We're gonna keep our sequins kind of all up here to keep our eye on the prize here, eye on our project, our focal point. There we go. Okay. And that really kind of dresses up the top of the card. And I love the sequins. You can put these through the mail, I think, without having to worry about adding that extra ounce stamp or that flat stamp that I've been talking about. And then we need something for the inside. So there is also a fabulous floral in this stamp set. And so I think we're gonna use that one and the greeting that I promised. So this one says, hoping your day is as amazing as you are. I just like that as a fun sentiment. So I'm gonna pop this up here, and then I'm going to add our flowers. And having just re-inked this, I think it's gonna be pretty dark if I go ahead and do it first run. So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp off on my scratch paper. Oops, I didn't get a very even. Okay, here's a little alarm for you. If you don't get a very even image on your stamp off layer, can you see how not even that is? There's a shadow in the center where it didn't stamp. You really need to do it again and make sure you get a full image, because otherwise you're gonna end up with uneven inkage there on your actual image. So there we go, all right? And then I'm gonna flip this over and put it on the inside. I'm kind of loving this stamp set, so I almost wanna add another flamingo to it. Ooh, I have an idea on where we can add another flamingo. Okay, so that's gonna go there on the inside. And then you could always have this little area here on the back that can use a stamped image. So I'm gonna grab our flamingo and have it be just a little kind of pop up here at the bottom. So I haven't inked the whole thing. Now you might notice that I opened my card when I went to do this. It's always dangerous to stamp on something like this that has dimension. So look at all the layers there on that card. There's the paper, the flamingo, the dimensionals, the extra layer, the dimensionals there, and 2 layers of card. That is a recipe for uneven stamping. So that's why I'm gonna open this up, and now I just have flat layers here to stamp on, and then add our little flamingo there on the back. I think that's kind of a fun deal, right? So of course you could do something similar on your envelope because you want to stamp your envelopes to match. But that gives us a really fun card to use with this Flamingo stamp set. So remember, there's two things that this card is supposed to remind us. One, make sure our Paper Pumpkin subscriptions are up to date so that we can be having those stencils come. So if you've never gotten Paper Pumpkin before, you can go to my website, LovenStamps.com, and look for the Paper Pumpkin information there. It'll explain about how you get Paper Pumpkin and how you, subscribe and so forth. If you have gotten Paper Pumpkin in the past, like long ago, and you had a bunch of orange boxes and so you let it go, try it again and go ahead and pick this one up, because I'll show you some videos here with our Paper Pumpkin. I always show alternate project or two, and I'm pretty sure that you're gonna wanna stamp those. So somebody actually told me, now I can't remember who it was, on our video in the Maker Mornings with Meg, I was showing the Paper Pumpkin alternate project and somebody said, oh, I've got mine already and I already made all the cards. So like, kudos, right? That's great. That's what I love, is when you guys tell me that you're stamping. So one is Paper Pumpkin, and two is have some fun ideas for your masked backgrounds, because you're gonna get a set of them in this Paper Pumpkin as a gift. And this card today will give you some fun ideas for using your masks. So, all right. Happy Wednesday. Hope you guys are excited about your day and have some fun things planned, and maybe even some time to do something creative and take time to make a card or two. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'll add the link in the video description for Paper Pumpkin. The link for supplies is already there. So, all right, guys, have a great day, and thanks so much for stamping with me this morning.